Hello, everyone. My name is Alex Lazarus, and I am here today with the last and final episode from me on Adobe Live about real estate design through Adobe Creative Cloud Express. So I am super excited. Today's day 4. We have already done logos, we've done open house flyers, we have done Instagram posts, and today we're doing Facebook or Instagram ads just to kind of round out your full experience. I'm super excited. I think today we're going to get into a little bit more of the nitty gritty. If you want to do it more yourself, we can do that. We're also going to touch on some light animation work as well. All things that you can bring into any of your advertisement elements just to give it a little bit of pop and pizzazz, which everybody knows that's what you want. So let's dive straight into the landing page website and we'll start talking about Adobe Creative Cloud Express. Adobe Creative Cloud Express is replacing Spark and it is free to use, but it is better when you do get to use the Adobe Creative Cloud subscription that you already have. There's a lot of really great free assets already to start with, but you do get to start unpacking some extra little benefits here and there. There is a features section that I like to look at just really quickly to show you that you don't need to be a designer to make outstanding creative decisions with your work. You can have zero experience at all ever doing design and still make really great creative. I love that. If you ever just need to get some inspiration really quickly, you can go to the Create tab up top and click social graphics or logos, and you can see that there's already all these great templates for you to use. You just one to stop, click, and drag it into your projects. You also have great learning resources here as well, where the blog is and some other great things. So definitely check it out. There's lots of information on this page. If you ever feel like you get stuck, come here, learn, and adapt. But we're going to jump straight back into our project. So as a recap for the last couple of days, we've been working in on Main Post, which is our fake real estate name. It's inspired from the Presidio in San Francisco. So I originally tried to bank a couple of logos in that space. But let's just quickly talk about this homepage really quickly, because I think this is a really great starting point for a lot of our new users. There's a bunch of great templates to start. There's some really light features to kind of talk about what you can do with remove backgrounds, convert to GIF, resize videos, resize images, all those great actions that you might want to do. It's awesome. But I also love that there's these kind of trays here for your Instagram stories, any Instagram post. You can scroll through it. You can see how many, there's just so many options. And I know there's probably tons that are screaming out to you that you want to use and explore. There's some posters, there's logos, there's a bunch of monograms in here that you can use, which monograms are just the letters in a logo. Those are great starting points for any of your businesses. You don't have to be doing real estate design. If you're designing along with me today, by all means, use real estate. But if you want to, you can use, any type of business you have. It might be a pizzeria. I keep talking about pizza. I love pizza. So make some pizza. You can click pizza and it'll bring up any pizza logos, whatever you need. So there's some fun little pieces here. Maybe you're, an apartment complex hosting a pizza night or doing a pizza party for work. You want to host one, you can quickly go in there and start making great looking designs to host your pizza party. But we're going to type in real estate. If I can spell correctly, boom, perfect. Now it's loading up all of our real estate. So in here, you can already see that there's tons of logos to use. There's great little poster mock-ups. There's some collages, all these great, really exciting tools for you to use. But what we're going to actually do is going to give a quick recap of where we are currently. We've added a brand that I've spent the second day of our stream showing you quickly what to do with that. So if you look at the open house flyer episode, you'll be able to see how we kind of quickly made this brand. But as a quick recap, you can upload your logo. So maybe you already have a logo that you've already have from your business or from a friend. You can upload those directly in with whatever images you have in that space. I typically like to offer a couple of different choices. As you'll see here, I've got one that's full color. I've got some transparents as well. I've got a white transparent, a color transparent, and a black transparent as well, just in case I need something that is a little bit more legible on a busy background or something like that. You can also bring in your own custom colors. So right here, I've got the 3 colors for my brand, this light blue, this darker blue, and this yellow color. And I've also brought in our custom typefaces as well. And you can pair those however you want. You can add multiples. It's also great. There's the theming option that you have that allows you to really customize and set quickly your own brand personality. I'm going to quickly run in. I know we're going to be working in Facebook ads. I've shown you a lot of really great tips. I'm going to show you one really quickly that I actually really like. It's this collage. And I think for real estate industry, it's super, super helpful. When you go in here, automatically you can upload any images you have. So say you have a client that you've already taken the photo shoot and you need to upload them really quickly, you can click that and you can upload your own images. Or if you need to use Adobe stock, maybe you don't have any images, or maybe you're looking for something in between. I know we just came out of like real estate winter, so maybe you didn't have that many listings. If you needed to keep your social media up, you can throw in some stock images here and there to get people to engage on your social platforms. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to type modern homes, because I like modern homes. And I'm going to actually just start selecting some images. If you see that there's a crown here, that means that it is included with your Adobe Creative Cloud subscription. Otherwise, it's free. So yeah, I'm going to click some of my favorites. We've got this nice kitchen. Wow, this is a beautiful one as well. Maybe I will also add a living room shot. So maybe it all feels like it's part of the same house. Yeah, let's do one more image, all different kind of, should we grab another interior shot really quickly? Boom. All right, so I've got that. I click next. And now from here, you can select whichever sizes you want, whichever shapes you want. There's already kind of a default size setting that Adobe gives you. If you need a custom one, maybe you're working on a certain ratio, like a 16:9 or a 9:16. You can type in those dimensions in this space. You can also set it for pixels, millimeters, or inches. Awesome. You can also lock those. So right now it's a 1-to-1 square, but if I kind of break that length, then I can start to change one value over the others. But if I needed to link them together, it would stay that resolution. And then if I just mess with, another size, it should automatically go with it. Going in the social post, I'm going to just choose a square post, like a 1080 by 1080. That's pretty default Facebook ad size. Also just an Instagram post. So it's really simple. It's going to be square. This is super easy for us to use. It's going to load in right now, so it looks a little pixelated, but that's because it's thinking. You can see one image is already loaded in high res. Boom, they're all there. So that's super simple. You don't even have to lay out anything yourself. I see Parker Schmidt. Hello, Parker. How you doing, buddy? Good to see you again. That's so funny. Small world. I used to skate with Parker back in the day. All right, so going back into this, we have the brand section right here. Super, super exciting. The brand logos are all loading in. If I wanted to, I could just drop this in here. But actually, I want to show you something that makes your life so much easier. So what I'm going to do is delete that logo really quickly. I'm going to click this magic wand design. And I have this option to say, turn it on to match your layout and style, turn it off to match style only. So what I'm actually going to do here is actually click the apply brand button. And it's going to pull in my logos and my type as well. So I can keep shuffling through my colors, which is awesome. It's super exciting. It's pulling in all of my color palettes, my elements. I love this stuff. It's so easy to use. Boom, I can put my logo really quickly in the corner. I might want to change out that background color very, very quickly. And if I do that, I can just change it to this, and that's matchy. It's looking good. I can lock up that logo in the bottom right. So really quickly, you can see that you're already making great Instagram material for any of your business. That's super simple. I'm going to name this collage square. And then I'm going to back out to my projects and actually move it over. What I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate this. So you've got one image, and that took, what, 2 minutes to do? That's super easy, super fast. I'm going to click duplicate, and then I'm going to make it a story, collage story. Boom, abracadabra, it's duplicating. And then I'll grab that, and then I'll show you again really quickly how to resize everything. So I'm going to go into the collage story, click edit project. And now I'm going to click this magical resize button. This is a Creative Cloud subscription piece. So click that, go to Instagram story, and voila, it's already cropped everything down. Look how simple that is. So if you wanted something, you can go in there, you can drag these because these are added to the background. you can just drag the crop. So if I wanted to really, I can drag them around too if I want. With that, I can move whichever pieces I want, which is awesome. I can also start to drag and pull and change some of the actual dimensions of this, which is super, super awesome. I like this high ceiling in this house, so maybe I want to focus on that. Maybe I need to squat this one down a little bit. Boom, boom. And then if I want to, I can actually go to the right panel. There's this section here that has the size tool, and you can zoom in or zoom out if you need to. So I can just mess with that, mess with these columns. A little bit narrow right now, but that's totally fine. I'm gonna pull that up. Let's see how I feel about that. So that's looking pretty good. What I can also do is allow, so I'm going to pull out that zoom, pull out that zoom, pull out that zoom, pull out that zoom. And now I'm starting to get a nice little collage of a bunch of different pieces of the house. I'm going to actually, like I said earlier, I like that ceiling and I know the clients will. So I really want to highlight that height of the building and the roof. And so I'm going to move that over. Actually, I like those there. I'll move this over, zoom that out. Oops. Zoom out, and I'm gonna just highlight this kind of solar roof and the pool and let people know that there's outdoor, indoor living. Everybody loves that. And then if I want to, I can start throwing in additional elements around type or things like that. But actually what I think is really, really interesting is if I click the add your text section, I can say, what do you say? Open house, we'll say open house. Open house. I'll keep that on one section. What I'm actually going to do here is if you've already added your brand and all your type styles, I can just go straight up to the top of this section and click my selected typeface, which is doing a little bit of thinking right now for me. Ooh. Computer. I think the computer is dead. Okay, we'll be right back. I'm trying to see. Hello, welcome back. So the great thing about working with Adobe Creative Cloud Express is when you have computer issues, it will save automatically to the cloud. So I'm already going back into this project and I'm not losing a single step. What I'm going to do is actually click the text button. I'm going to add my text again. I'm going to click open house, and then I'm going to add a shape around it and click that. And I'm going to change the shape. So what I can do in this section is I can change all the bounding boxes. There's so many things. I can do a ribbon if I want to. You name it, there's so many shapes that you can use, which is awesome. So I'm gonna actually do, maybe not open house, swipe up to learn more maybe? That seems like a pretty good idea. Up to learn more. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna change how the text is done by going into this section here. And I'm gonna click capitalize and fit. And that's gonna make it scale to the size of that bounding box, which creates really nice geometric shapes for me. And I'm gonna choose the color palette that works well on this. So I'm going to choose that dark blue and I'm going to fit this across the bottom and I'm going to show you guys how to edit it really, really quickly. I'm going to stay within the grid structure that we've already agreed to with this format. So now I've got that, swipe up to learn more, and then I'm going to actually add another section for just the realtor contact information. That's going to be very simple. I don't need a shape around that. I just need to put, you know, Mike Jones 281-330-8004. In case you don't know, that's a Houston rapper. It's amazing. All right, let's throw it in the corner. And I'm going to take off the grid to capitalize and fit. I'm just going to move it to just a normal right align next to the real estate. I'm going to also add BBus, or actually Proxima Nova, which is our there we go. Proxima Nova is our secondary typeface. I can even do a thinner version if I want by clicking that drop down. They don't have a thinner version, so I'm going to just keep it like that. Boom, got the real estate logo there. Cool, it's looking good. I'm actually going to bump it up because we can make it a little bit more legible by doing this. Cool, that's locked up there nicely. I'm going to just lighten up that frame. All right, so now we've got that. And what I'm going to show you really quickly is how to do animations. So there's a couple of options you have. You can do a text animation. So if you want, you can show that swipe up to learn more. Super nice there. Or, there's options within that. There's different typewriter effects. There's a dynamic effect that works really well. I typically like this dynamic effect, the second one, that allows me to kind of have each word kind of load in quickly. You also have the transition from up to bottom, but you also have options to do like a color shuffle, and that's just shuffle through your brand colors. Yeah, so it's just kind of a bunch of different options. You have slide effects as well. You have fade effects. All these are really great, but then you also have photo animation. So if I was to go, just click animation and click photo, it'll just zoom those images in. Not going to work as well for this current design aesthetic, but you have options for like grayscale loading in as well. So if you really want to show like maybe a web page loading or things like that, you can do that really quickly here. You can do colors, and this is cool. You can actually add colors to your images themselves. Really fun stuff. And then you got this fade effect. So lots of really cool things. I'm just going to keep it simple, and I'm going to click the dynamic, second choice on the dynamic. And then when I want to, what I can do is I can just save, click the download button, and it will choose the MP4, a PNG, a JPEG, or a PDF, which is super, super easy, super helpful. It allows you to just go in and upload those files directly to your ad platform, which is awesome. I'm going to show you, I know we've been using templates to start off. We have about 5 minutes. I'll show you really, really quickly in 5 minutes how you can make your own custom post from scratch. Now that you guys are all experts, I'm just going to start with custom size. I'm going to click social post. I'm going to click Instagram, just so I can get a square really quickly. Boom, pow. I don't need your templates. I'm going to do it because we're professionals now. So boom, pow. Throw on a background color. I'm going to throw in a photo from our modern homes that we like. Click enter. Then it's going to pull it in. So I'm going to pick one of my favorites, which is this one. Now pull this. I'm going to grab it really quickly, pull it as big as I want it to be. It's going to load in. I'm going to click the crop and shape tool, which allows us to choose our own selection. So I haven't really shown you much of these features. I think I touched on it briefly the other day, but I like this hexagon. I'm going to plop that straight in the frame. I'm going to increase the size a little bit more, but we can always mess with that as well. We can drag it straight centered. Boom, that's looking pretty good. I'm going to click text, and I'm going to add your own text right there. I'm going to click open house, open house. I'm actually going to keep it all caps myself. Oops. Open house. And then make sure that you're clicking on your brand typeface, which is at the top again. I'm also going to change that to be a proper white color. And I'm going to increase the horizontal space so that I can have it big, as big as possible. Boom, that's looking really good. So I've got that open house information right there. I've also got this button right here. I can click duplicate. I'll duplicate the same type style, same type size, which is nice. And then I'm going to just change that out to Sunday. Gotta click that button first. Sunday. Now I've got open house Sunday. I've got it aligned. Let me click all three of these elements that I have and click the align tool. Align horizontal will do that snap for you. I made my Sunday go straight into the middle, which is awesome. I am also going to add in some notes. So I've already seen, I pulled up my notes right there. I've got my text. I'm going to add another text box, and I'm going to take the information I have gathered for this house and say, okay, this house is going to be $7 majillion, which is a real number. $7 million. Boom. Big. Now I'm going to shrink it down. I can choose type size here. I'm going to align it to the right, and I'm going to make it just 3 lines, and I'm going to just center it here on that spacing. So then I'm going to also duplicate this. I like that size. Duplicate it, boom, drag it across, and I'm going to left align it, and then I'm going to use my address so that people know where they need to visit the house at, and that's pulling out to 4 lines. I want it to be on 3 to match, so it seems like both of these need to come down a little bit in terms of size. So I'm going to just bump it down to 24 and see if that's too small. It might be a little bit too small. Let's go 28. I think 28 is probably good. I'm going to type in 28 on this side as well. 28, boom, pow. Now I'm going to just space it out accordingly. I think that's pretty close, actually. Let me make sure that it's snapped to the center. So that pink line is showing me the reference point. Cool. So that's looking pretty good. I need to add a little bit of flair. So I'm going to add the yellow here, bring our brand colors in. I wonder if there's a secondary one that I should bring in. Maybe I need to bring in this blue. I think that's probably pretty nice. So right now you've got this really simple, you've already made this from scratch. You don't need to use a template if you don't want, but you have those available to you, which is super, super exciting. I'm just gonna bump this over just slightly. I know it's a little bit off, it's fine. All right, so what I can do here is if I wanted to, I could also add more elements, but I think I like personally a little bit simpler, cleaner, minimalist style. So this works really well. I can also have that option. Again, we were talking about the animation. This could be a great opportunity for us to animate in that image. Maybe it's a zoom. So I'm going to click animation. I'm going to click zoom. Let's see. See, that's kind of nice. There's also the pan option. We also have this blur so it comes into focus. Or if I wanted to, I could start playing with the type animation. And I think that's really fun, even where the type is just bouncing across the middle like that open house Sunday. That fits the frame that we've built really well, that hexagon frame. So that could be a really great project. And so really quickly, you can even just start downloading these MP4s and it will allow you to just start testing these campaigns and see how are they performing for you and for your needs. But this is super exciting. I think the options that you have here are endless. I'm going to quickly do a recap over the last couple of days. You can see how with your brand system, you already have so many really, really quick, amazing, beautiful designs. We've got our logos in here, a full suite we built in here. We've got flyers, open house stories. You got your Instagram posts and stories. You got collages. You got everything you could possibly need to kind of bring your real estate business up to the next level. And with that, that is my time. I've absolutely loved working with you guys through this project, and I cannot wait to see what you guys create. Be sure to like, follow, subscribe to the Adobe Creative Cloud Express channel, and we'll see you all shortly. Bye. Thank you so much.